Mace Windu stood at the shattered window, lightning fading from the air like smoke after a fire. Palpatine's face was twisted, desperate, and still trying to sell one last lie. "I am the Senate," the Sith hissed. "Pause. You can't." Mace didn't answer with words. He answered with a clean strike. Purple light flashed, and the Sith Lord fell. Not arrested, not saved, ended. For one heartbeat, the office was quiet. Wind and distant traffic filled the space where Sidious's presence used to be. The Force felt lighter, then suddenly wrong, like a chain had snapped and something hidden had recoiled. Mace turned from the body and saw the cost around him. Kit Fisto was down. Saesee Tiin and Agan Kolar were gone. He was the last one standing in a room that should have been the Republic's safest place. "This ends now," Mace said. Pause. "It has to." But Sidious had planned for death. A small panel in the Chancellor's desk blinked once green, then red, like a machine waking up. Deep in the Senate tower, encrypted directives began unlocking. Emergency protocols, security overrides, clone command pathways marked with authority no longer alive to explain them. Mace felt the shift in the building boots moving, elevators rerouting, corridors sealing in patterns too perfect to be random. He opened a secure channel to the temple. "Lock down," he ordered. Pause. "Assume the Senate is compromised." The reply came fast, strained. "Master Windu, clones are deploying around the Jedi district. Protection never came with heavy cannons." Mace stepped toward the office doors, saber still lit, ready to cut his way out and take Palpatine's body as proof. He needed evidence before the Senate could rewrite the story. Then the corridor filled with white armor. Clone troopers, Republic soldiers raised rifles at a Jedi Master with the same discipline they used against droids. Their captain's voice was flat, trained, and terrifying. "Master Windu," he said. "Pause. Stand down." Mace tightened his grip. Sidious was dead, but the trap was alive. Outside the tower, Anakin's speeder screamed closer seconds from arriving. Mace stared at the rifles and realized the next choice would decide everything. Then the clone captain lifted his hand and gave the firing signal. The instant Palpatine died, Coruscant's systems woke up, like something had been waiting to breathe. Red alerts flashed inside Senate servers. Continuity protocols unlocked. Broadcast scripts queued up. Clone command channels lit with sealed orders stamped with supreme authority, even though that authority was now a body on the floor. In the Chancellor's corridor, clone troopers opened fire on Mace Windu. Mace moved like lightning-deflecting bolts, cutting a path, refusing to fall in a hallway that would become a headline. He needed proof. He needed Palpatine's corpse to speak louder than any Senate speech. Then Anakin arrived. He stepped into the blaster storm and froze at the sight. Windu fighting clones, smoke rolling, and the Chancellor's office door standing open behind him. "Master Windu!" Anakin shouted. "No time," Mace barked. "Pause. Get to the temple. Lock it down. Now." Anakin didn't argue. He ran. At the Jedi Temple, alarms rose as gunships repositioned around the district. Some clone commanders hesitated, waiting for clear confirmation. Others didn't. Republic security erected checkpoints for public safety, and the Holonet began pushing the first poisoned message. The Jedi had attacked the Chancellor. Inside the temple, Obi-Wan and Yoda acted without debate. Temple shields went up, younglings were moved, archives sealed. And a strike team was formed for one target, Coruscant's broadcast and command nodes. Because if Palpatine's dead man switch synced, every clone in the galaxy could receive the same purge order. Jedi entered the Senate communications hub with blades unlit, moving fast and quiet. They didn't destroy systems, they seized them. They locked relays, they cut outbound authorization routes. They forced command codes to route through living senators, not dead signatures. The purge signal stuttered. Outside, clones argued over comms. Orders arrived incomplete. Confirmation failed. The machine hesitated just long enough for the Jedi to take the wheel. But the city was already watching, and the story was already being written. Mace staggered into the temple courtyard, wounded but standing, with proof secured behind him. Anakin looked up at the ring of gunships over Coruscant and whispered, "They're turning the Republic on us." Then the holonet went dark before switching to a new emergency broadcast, and a calm voice said, "Jedi treason is confirmed." The Senate chamber turned into a storm of voices the moment Palpatine's seat went empty. Senators who once clapped on cue now accused each other of treason. Loyalists demanded emergency control for stability. Reformers demanded arrests for justice. Neutral systems threatened to leave the Republic before it collapsed on them. That fracture was the Sith plan, still working without the Sith. Mas Amedda tried to seize authority, calling for continuity powers and Republic security control. But the Jedi struck first, not with a takeover, but with a lockdown designed to stop civil war. Obi-Wan coordinated temple teams to secure three things: the holonet relay, the Senate security hub, and the record trail to Palpatine's office. No speeches, no banners, just quiet movement and hard rules. "Do not escalate," Mace Windu ordered. "Pause. We hold. We prove. We survive." Outside, crowds formed at the Jedi District checkpoints. Some held candles for the fallen Chancellor. Some held signs demanding the Jedi be executed. A single blaster shot nobody could prove from which side turned shouting into panic. People ran. Security fired warning volleys. Someone screamed that the Jedi were attacking civilians. The lie spread faster than the truth. In the Senate Tower, Windu forced a chain of custody record on Palpatine's body and sealed the suite as a crime scene. He made Senate guards sign every transfer. He made witnesses speak on record. He made it legal, because the Jedi couldn't win a war of stories with sabers. Anakin moved through the chaos like a shield, stopping clone units from firing when orders came incomplete. He didn't command them, he reminded them. "You're soldiers of the Republic," he said. Pause. Not someone's private army. For one long night, Coruscant didn't become an empire. It became a courtroom surrounded by guns. And far away, separatist censors caught the capital's weakness and began plotting a strike. A fleet warning blared through the war room. "Unknown contacts. Hyperspace wake." Mace Windu looked at the Senate skyline and whispered, "They'll hit us while we argue." And Anakin felt it too. Coruscant was about to be tested from above. Anakin burst into the Chancellor's suite and felt the air go cold. Smoke hung near the ceiling. The scent of ozone clung to the walls, and Palpatine was on the floor. For a second, Anakin couldn't breathe. This was the voice that praised him, guided him, steadied him through war. Now it was silent, too silent, while Coruscant screamed outside the windows. Mace Windu stood near the shattered office, lightsaber still humming, his face carved from decision. "What happened?" Anakin asked, voice tight. "He was the Sith," Windu said. Pause. "I ended him." The words should have brought relief. Instead, Anakin felt panic, because the hallways were filling with clone boots, because the holonet was already pushing a story. Because the Republic didn't wait for truth, it picked a target. Outside the suite, clone troopers raised rifles. Their captain didn't look angry, he looked programmed. "Master Windu," he said, "stand down." Anakin stepped into the doorway before Windu could move. He held both hands up, palms open, like he was stopping a stampede. "Do not fire," Anakin ordered. Pause. Nobody fires. The clones hesitated. They recognized his rank. They also recognized the emergency directive flashing in their helmet feeds. Anakin pointed past them. "There's a body in that office," he said, louder. "You want justice? Then we secure the scene. We don't start a massacre." Windu's voice cut in, controlled. "Lower your weapons. You are Republic soldiers." One trooper's finger tightened anyway. The first bolt almost happened. Anakin felt the moment break, and he used the Force not to crush, but to calm. Rifles dipped an inch, as if heavy hands had settled on them. Then Senate security arrived with holocams, witnesses, records, people who could make lies harder. Anakin looked at Windu and understood the real war had started. Not Jedi versus Sith, but truth versus panic. He turned back to the clones. "Escort us," he said. Pause. "And you will be remembered as the unit that didn't lose its mind." The clone captain lowered his rifle slowly, like fighting an invisible command. Anakin exhaled, but didn't relax, because he felt the city still tipping toward chaos. And on every holonet screen, the same headline kept spreading: Jedi coup arrests them all. Sidious was gone, and the war immediately felt different, less precise, more desperate. Count Dooku sat on Sereno staring at a silent channel that used to answer every time. No new instructions. No calm corrections. No patience. Just empty space where a master had been. Dooku understood what that meant. The Separatist Council had never been loyal to him. They were loyal to whoever guaranteed profit and survival. Without Sidious guiding the shadow economy, the Council began to fracture like glass. The Trade Federation demanded emergency protections. The banking clan moved funds into hidden accounts and started deleting trails. Techno-union leaders pushed for peace talks not because they wanted peace, but because they wanted immunity. Dooku called them cowards. They called him a liability. General Grievous didn't argue. He acted. He launched brutal, loud strikes meant to force unity through fear. He burned Republic fuel depots, raided hospital convoys, and executed defectors on open holofeeds. It was not strategy anymore. It was panic, dressed as strength, and it backfired. For the first time, Republic intelligence noticed something. Separatist responses were slower, supply lines were sloppy, command codes changed too often. That was what happens when control turns into chaos. Mace Windu authorized a counteroffensive while the Senate was still screaming. Jedi strike teams hit 3 key droid foundries in one night, cutting production before the Separatists could relocate. Clone fleets pushed harder, not chasing traps, but collapsing weak links. Anakin led the spearhead on a shipyard raid and felt the difference in real time. Separatist fighters broke formation. Droid commanders repeated orders that no longer made sense. It was like fighting an army whose brain had been removed. But in the debris of that victory, Dooku made one last choice. If the Separatists couldn't win the war, they would break Coruscant. A message went out to Grievous, short and cold. Strike the capital. Take a hostage that matters. Last line's Republic sensors screamed as multiple hyperspace wakes formed at the edge of the system. Anakin looked up at the starfield and whispered, "He's coming here." And above Coruscant, the first Separatist warships dropped out of hyperspace, aiming straight for the heart of the Republic. The Jedi stopped asking why the clones looked conflicted. They started asking how. Yoda ordered a quiet sweep of every Republic command channel tied to Coruscant. Obi-Wan pulled medical officers from Camino files. Shaak Ti dug through clone training protocols with a healer's patience and a soldier's urgency. They found the pattern fast. Emergency orders weren't just transmitted, they were reinforced, echoed. Confirmed by hidden nodes inside Senate infrastructure designed to make obedience feel official, Mace Windu stared at the map of signals and said the hard truth. Sidious built a second government inside the army. Pause. And it's still alive. A wounded clone captain was brought into the temple under guard, not as a prisoner, as a patient. He kept repeating fragments of directives, like a man dreaming with his eyes open. Obi-Wan knelt beside him. "Listen to me," he said. "Pause. You are not a droid. Fight it." The clone's jaw trembled. "Orders. Supreme. Contingency." Shaak Ti placed 2 fingers at the base of the skull and felt it. A foreign presence in the biology. Not a thought. Not a belief. A device. "Inhibitor," she whispered. "He planned for this." The room went silent. There was no time for outrage. They acted. A Jedi strike team hit the Senate relay vault to sever the broadcast nodes. Temple slicers locked Republic channels behind rotating codes. Kaminoan medical data was seized and rushed to Temple labs. Healers developed a risky procedure to disable the inhibitor's control response without killing the clone. Outside, Coruscant's orbit lit up Separatist ships dropping into the system. The purge didn't trigger. Not fully, not clean. The network was choked before it could speak with one voice. Clones across the capital hesitated, some lowering rifles like waking from a nightmare. Confusion spread, then something more human. Relief. Mace looked at Anakin. "We just saved the order," he said. Pause. "Now we save the Republic." Anakin stared at the sky, hearing war return with new teeth. Last lines of fleet alarm screamed through the temple. Grievous in system capital approach. Obi-Wan ignited his saber and whispered, "No more hidden wars." And Anakin stepped toward the hangar, ready to meet the next battle with an army finally thinking for itself. Morning came to Coruscant like a bruise fading. Smoke still drifted between towers. Gunships still hovered, but their cannons pointed away from the temple now. The city had not healed yet, it had not broken. The Senate reconvened under armed guard, not to celebrate, but to survive. Every senator understood the truth. Palpatine's death had removed the hand on the wheel, but the vehicle was still moving at full speed. Mace Windu tried to speak first. His voice shook as he called for continuity. Jedi recordings of the Chancellor's office ended that speech fast. Witnesses, timestamps, clone logs, a dead Sith Lord with no clean explanation. The chamber turned on him like a tide. A repeal motion hit the floor. Emergency powers revoked, security directives suspended, Senate oversight restored. It passed with a fury that felt like shame. Then came the arrests. Republic marshals and loyal Senate Guard units moved through back corridors with sealed warrants, taking Palpatine's inner circle before they could run. Advisors who signed secret orders. Security chiefs who rerouted the holonet. Committee heads who hid funding trails. Some fought, most begged. A few smiled, as if they still believed the plan would return. Outside, crowds watched the procession on live feeds. For the first time in years, people saw the Republic punish its own shadows. At the Jedi Temple, Mace Windu stood with a bandaged arm, listening to the city. He didn't look proud, he looked tired. Anakin arrived from the hangar, eyes red from sleepless hours. "Is it over?" he asked. Obi-Wan answered honestly, "The coup is over." Pause. The war isn't, because in the same hour Coruscant reclaimed its laws, reports arrived from the front. Separatist fleets still moving, Grievous still hunting, and Count Dooku still free. The Republic had avoided an empire. Now it had to earn a peace. Last lines, a new transmission cut through Senate cheers and Outer Rim sector had fallen overnight. Mace Windu looked at the star map and whispered, "They're testing us." And Anakin ignited his saber, knowing the Republic's next fight would be without Sidious, but not without darkness. The Clone Wars ended the way they should have ended from the start, through collapse, not coronation. Without Sidious guiding both sides, Separatist space fractured fast. Republic fleets stopped chasing traps and started cutting arteries, droid foundries, fuel lines, and banking routes. Grievous became reckless, striking for fear instead of strategy. Dooku lost the shadow support that kept his allies loyal, and corporate leaders began trading information for immunity. On Coruscant, the Senate rebuilt law in public, emergency powers were repealed, Palpatine's inner circle was arrested, and the Jedi bruised, blamed, but standing kept the capital stable long enough for the Republic to breathe again. Anakin returned to the temple not as a weapon, but as proof that a choice could break destiny. Padme watched him from Senate balconies, wondering how close the galaxy came to a future of helmets and marching boots. Months later, the final Separatist strongholds fell. Peace talks didn't feel heroic. They felt tired. Systems signed agreements with shaking hands, and clone units finally received orders that weren't soaked in secrets. But the Jedi didn't celebrate like they used to. Yoda warned the Council that darkness didn't vanish, it adapted. Mace Windu pushed for reform inside the Order and inside the Senate, because power without oversight was how Sidious grew. Then the warning arrived. In a sealed Senate archive, investigators found a hidden list names, safe houses, and contingency funds labeled in code, not for the war, for what came after. A successor network, a plan to rebuild the Sith influence through loyalists, propaganda, and controlled chaos without ever needing a throne. Obi-Wan read the file and felt cold settle in his chest. He expected to lose, he said, pause, and still tried to win later. Anakin stared at the names and understood the lesson. The Empire never rose, but the fight to prevent it had just begun. Last lines. That night, Anakin felt a faint dark ripple in the Force. Far away, patient, alive. Mace Windu looked to the stars and whispered, "Peace is a guard duty." And somewhere in the Outer Rim, a hidden holocron activated, waiting for the next hand to open it.